When I get your attention all for just a moment, I want to say thank you all for coming out to start with. It really means a lot to see some familiar faces in the audience, but also some new faces that have joined me here today. That has been my goal on this campaign trail, is to get to know more folks and let you guys really know more about me as a candidate and what I stand for. So it means a lot that you've taken the time out of your day to come out here and enjoy some good food, some local food, Fat Bellies. Shout out to them. Thank them very much. I'm all about supporting local. For those of you that don't know a lot about my background as far as that's concerned, that means a lot to me. It means a lot to me to ensure that this county is thriving, whether it's by supporting local causes or supporting our local businesses or being a part of the chamber or just giving back to things that benefit here. That's what I care about. My family's here, my heart's here. I've been here for a generation, and my husband was here, or I should say my late husband was here much longer than that, and I think that's something that we shared a love for, that's not going to stop for me, just because of the tragedy. But that is one thing that I will say to you guys, and that the message I'm trying to get across to the voters in Hamilton County is it's time for a change. It is time for the things that have been happening in this community to not happen, but as well as it's time for progress. I'm your town attorney for Jennings, and I'll use that as an example. And I've been very transparent that we need jobs here. I have been working there as the town attorney and assisting the council for, I think October will be 4 years, and that's one of the things that I'm very big about is, progress. Our county could be a wonderful, thriving little town, and what I see a lot of is people want that, they just need somebody to lead them. They need somebody to bring the resources, they need somebody to care, they need somebody to invest. And that's what I've been doing for 10 years. And I had somebody make a comment earlier today, and I told myself that this is what I was going to circle my speech around today, because I think this is what needs to come across to the voters, and what I hope you, my supporters, will spread for me, spread the message. This is not something that is brand new for me just because this election came about. This is something that I've been doing since I was a prosecutor assigned to Hamilton County since 2014. I remember a day back when Oak Grove first came about, and I was on the community outreach board there, and that was probably either 14 or 15, and it warms my heart to think now they're here serving today. It's just amazing how things pass. But I was organizing fundraisers at the state attorney's office for all the employees there to ensure that these boys had a Christmas. I've been doing things in Hamilton County with my husband, trunk or treat, Easter events, coordinated, with the police department and numerous other things before this election even came about. Candidly, before 2020, when I stepped foot in private practice and opened my business in Hamilton County. I hear from people a lot of times, Sheena's out there doing this and Sheena's out there doing that, and she's just, because she's campaigning. Well, you know what, folks, if you look back, there is proof everywhere around. You could talk to around anyone in this community, and they're going to tell you that I've been doing things here since the moment I moved here. And it's not just because this opportunities came about. I don't think there was a single person in this community that ever thought that Judge Scaff was going to retire early. Not a single one. He could have stayed until he was 75. This is not something that, as someone who had just went into private practice in 2020, and then the vacancy comes about when he retires in October of 2022, that would have even been on my radar. But you know why it is now? Because I want to make sure that this county matters. I want to make sure that this county is taken care of. I want the things that matter about this county to still matter. I want to be a part of that change. I want to be a part of that difference. And the county judge is a people's judge. And I have children sitting in these schools and living in these communities, and friends and family and people that I care about, that I have, come up with in the last generation. I'm vested here. My home is here. I built a home here. And my life to me matters every day. And the thought of it not being someone who knows the people is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. This isn't about power for me. This isn't about I want a stepping stone so that I can go on and want to do bigger things and be a circuit judge or just, no. This is about time for a change in Hamilton County. And that's the message that I'm trying to get across to voters is, do you want your people's judge, the person that's going to touch first appearance, your injunctions, your traffic court, your traffic tickets, everything that you guys really don't realize that is ingrained in your everyday life, your county judge touches. Not your circuit judge who is doing felony cases and is not even from the county. It is your county judge. That matters. You know, people are more than just a piece of paper. You know, people are humans. And if you don't know the people here, you can't make a good decision. And I stand by that firmly. When I was a prosecutor, I was in misdemeanor and I was in felony. And one of the things that I get told, and I was even told standing here today, and I take it as a compliment, I was a good prosecutor, but I was a fair prosecutor. And when I have return clients that come back to me in private practice and hire me because they say to me, Sheena, you treated us with respect, you were, kind, you were, humble, you made sure that you looked at all the circumstances, you didn't just treat me like another number. That matters to me because that's what needs to happen as your county judge. It doesn't need to just be another face and another piece of paper when folks' lives are on the line and people are coming in front of you. And so that's the message that I want to get across to Hamilton County. And if that's the person that you feel would be the best choice, then I ask for your vote. I'm here today to ask for your vote. This event is because I want you guys to know who I am and what I'm about. And this is only just a glimpse of it. So please, I'm all about talking with people more. I'm all about, listening, and I'm approachable. There's one thing you're going to find out about me. I'm never going to do something wrong. I'm never going to be unethical. I'm never going to violate my morals or do anything that would allow me to get in trouble and not be able to be a good attorney. But there is one thing you're going to find about me is I am down to earth, and you can talk with me, and I do care, and I am invested. There is a reason why I chose the campaign slogan that I chose. I'm local, I'm invested, and I'm fair. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. Thank you, guys. Miss Kizzy, did you have anything that you wanted to speak on today or give you a quick opportunity? I want y'all to give a round of applause for Miss Kizzy. She is the one that has helped me organize this. Also, my campaign manager, Reagan Carnley, and my campaign crew. I could not do it without you guys, and I thank you very much. I also want to thank Oak Grove, the boys that came out and served here today too. These men are doing amazing things, and I can't tell you how much it means to me to know that Oak Grove is giving these boys a second chance, because you know what? If I am given the opportunity to serve as your next Hamilton County judge, I can tell you one thing that I love the most. It's being able to know whether somebody is a bad person or whether somebody has had a bad day, and whether or not they deserve a second chance. And Oak Grove just makes my heart warm, because that's all you're looking at is these boys who have been given second chances, and they are really taking advantage of it. So give them another round of applause. They do great things out there.
Good afternoon. I want to thank everyone for coming out. As most of you know, I'm Kizzy, and I'm personally here to endorse Sheena. I asked her if I could do a meet and greet for her, simply because I'm going to speak about me. And the reason why I can speak about me at Sheena event is because the things that I do for the community and in this community is people like Sheena that back me. I feel I'm dedicated to Hamilton County, especially White Springs. I give back, and I told someone today, the giver is often ever the receiver. And so with that being said, with all the things that I do, the give back that I do as a child's advocate and an advocate here, I could call, for example, when the hurricane hit, I posted on Facebook, hey, me and my family are gonna be at the baseball field. We're gonna be serving anyone hungry. Come out, get something to eat. We're gonna feed you. All of a sudden, my cash out went off, and then my phone went to ring, and it was Sheena. And she said, hey, and I called, I said, what's up? She said, I just sent you some money to help go towards your event. She said, buy drinks. You already got the food, I got drinks. She said, and just be looking out for a message. Next thing you know, my cash out went off again. It was a friend, Carrie Carmichael. He said, whatever you need, go ahead and get. Let me know if you need more. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of things that I do, my face is on it, but it's people like Sheena that's already invested, and you would never know that she did it. And it was even before campaign came up. My ice cream social, she said, Kizzy, what you need, I got it. And the reason why I say that, you have to invest in who are invested in you and your children. With the ice cream social book bag school supply giveaway, it's people like Sheena that sending me $50, $100 to help buy these supplies in which some parents not able to afford at the time, but they believe local invested fair. They believe that with what they doing, it matters, and it matters in your kids' lives, because y'all, without me telling you that Sheena did it, no one today here knew that Sheena gave me money for the to feed White Springs when the lights went out. No one know that, and that's because she didn't boast about what she did. I did tell some people, but the thing is, when we make all this fuss from the background, when you come to events, you see everything nice and pretty, but you don't know the time that have been invested in it. I appreciate Sheena as a wife, because as a wife, I know what kind of things we go through. As a mother, everyone out here have a child and grandchildren, so it's that too. But still, yet, when we take out of our house to make sure that your house is good, I think, as she said, she's been doing it for years, and it's not only the money, it's the time. And we all know, I look at Miss Linda. She used to be in the school system, working in the school system. Miss Paula, you all know how much you have invested in children, and at the end of the day, the only things that you get sometimes is a simple hug from that child. But when that child run up and say, Miss Linda, I miss you. Miss Paula, thank you. It means more than anything else. And so, Sheena, I say thank you. I'm going to tell you to thank you for the ones that you'll never receive, because I know how hard it is. And once again, like when my ice cream social, this year will be 18 years that I have been doing it. That's a long time. It's a lot of hours invested, and it's solid partnerships like Sheena. Even though I advertise and say, thank you, I appreciate you, Sheena, I can't say enough, because of this time, even Mr. Udell, he allowed me to use this. He ice cream social. He walk up, he say, Miss Kizzy, what can I do? I have these people coming to me because of the way that I'm investing in this community. I don't even have to ask for donations at this point anymore. People come to me and donate because they see the good that we do. Not that I do, we do. And I feel that as a judge, she will continue on, because I told Carrie today, it was events that I went to that Sheena stood there, and I never knew who she was. And I just kept seeing the face, and I told him, I say, well, it was important to me because I went to these events because I cared, and I wanted to be invested, I wanted to know what's going on. But when I look out and I see Miss Paula at the same events, I want to know who Miss Paula is, because apparently me and her have something in common and we sharing something. I see Carrie, the same thing. I see Sheena, and I was like, well, who's this lady? Who's this lady? And then when I met her husband, I didn't realize Tony was your husband until after the fact that I even had a relationship with both of them. And so I'm going to say again, I endorse, for the simple fact, I do the things here in this community because I want to, not because I have to. And to have someone else that's standing beside me doing it because they want to, it's not a title that's behind it or anything else. I am greatly appreciated for what you do, what you stand for, and no matter what, I know that even in 5 years from now, I know that I'll look and still see you in this crowd. And it means a lot to have a person that you know that is invested simply because they are a people's person and a servant. And we don't have a lot of servants. Paula Williams, I look at you in admiration because you are a servant. And even today, she was like, would there be somewhere to sit? Because I'm bringing seniors with me. And I mean, that's the servant's heart. And Sheena, the thing is, she would say, well, kids, we have to have somewhere to sit for it. The elders come there, where they gonna sit at? We have to have somewhere to sit. I'm like, okay, let's work on this, let's work on this. And we need servants, even from our sheriff, even from our judge, even from our council. I don't care. We need to start shaking things up and make a difference, because our children are the ones that's finna start hurting from it. We look now and say, well, these kids these days, we the one raising them. What are you doing to make a difference? Make this difference with her. Because as she said, her child go to school here. This is the difference. I need, when you go on that bench, I need you to say, okay, well, it may be a simple parking ticket, but I need you to look at the bigger picture as a person. I need you all to look at the picture as a whole. If we stop supporting our businesses, they close down. If we stop investing in our kids, what happened? They're in trouble, and then we're looking for someone else to, can you help me? Can you help me? Let's help each other today. And let's start by changing our polls and showing up. Take someone to the poll. I told Carrie today, I drive people to the polls, to each his own. You know why? Because when I was 16, my grandma, late Berna Mae Johnson, she said, you go vote. I'm finna send my grandbaby at you. And you know, when mama said something, that word was law. We don't read back, you just do it. And so still yet, take someone to the poll, encourage them to vote, because a lot of our youngs don't think it's a purpose behind it. But when they don't go vote, our schools close down. When they don't go vote, our bills go up, and we wonder why. And when they don't go vote, these businesses can't come here. Let's make a stand, let's make a difference, and change Hamilton County today. And you have my support all the way.
I'll try not to cry because he does it to me every time. I gotta hold it together today. But I can tell you guys, you know, I'm very proud of being a servant. And when somebody tells me I have a servant's heart, I think that's probably, outside of the fact of telling me that I'm just like my mama, that's probably the best compliment I think I've ever received. Number one is that I'm just like my mama, and number two is that I have a servant's heart. And I don't think that it's just who you are. You know, those of you that are servants, you know how it is. It is not motivated. It is not out for a reason. It is not. It's because you care and you want to make a difference, and there's no why behind it. And that's what I want people to see. And you know what? She's absolutely right. People ask me all the time, Sheena, you know, are you ever going to change, or are you ever going to be any different? And I can promise every single one of you sitting in this audience right now, I don't care if I do not win that election come August 20th, you're still going to see me in these communities, you're still going to see me volunteering, you're still going to see me doing my events, you're still going to see me thriving, because you know what? That's who I am as a person. That's the fabric that I've thread, that I have woven into this county, and who I am in my life, and that's the same play that I plan on teaching my children. So you can rest assured that even if the change that I want you guys to be a part of doesn't happen, I appreciate you for trying to make it happen, and I can promise you that that will never change. You will still see me supporting this community. Thank you. I did want to ask, is there any questions from the audience? Anybody have any special questions or concerns, or anything specific that you'd like to talk to me about my campaign? All right, Ms. Paula, go ahead.
What, if you have a chance to think about this, what type of outreach are you prepared to bring into direct communities to educate people regarding all the laws that affect?
So one thing I will say, and I'll go back to some events that I have participated in the past, is that I have actually done the law day with Miss Emily and with Anthony Williams in the schools. When I was a prosecutor, I also participated in Constitutional Day. And so some of the things that, again, even before I went into private practice, even before this campaign began, I've always been invested and interested in our youth and going to our schools and making sure that they understand the consequences. And I can tell you guys, when I did the last one with Anthony Williams, with Miss Emily, she asked me to come and she asked me to speak with them, and I was already in private practice, and we had a 5th grade class. And it was eye-opening to see, even at that age, how much the children really did understand. But you guys would really be surprised how many children, even a little bit past that age, don't understand. But I mean, so that grade was a very influential grade, don't get me wrong. But knowing about our Constitution and our history and the laws that are out there and what's illegal and, you know, what is right and what is wrong, unfortunately, some of that's not happening at home. Those of you that are educators know that that's the case. And so what I'll say is I have done it before. I have been committed to that before, and that's not going to change for me. I want to still continue being a part of that program. Matter of fact, I think it's coming up again. Miss Emily asked me the other day if I was interested in doing it again, and I absolutely do. And I think that it should be something that we have more community participation. On that day, unfortunately, there was only 2 or 3 of us, but we hit every single classroom, and I was there for hours, and that was fine.
But I also think that we need some outreach to try to get some more folks from our police departments or our sheriff's offices. And I've always been vocal about these kind of things. I told my husband it. Listen, I told my husband a lot of things, and he always used to tell me just to hush. But I think that, and I also think, Ms. Paula, too, that there needs to be some focus on mental health and drug court in our county. You know, I don't mean to, turn another topic, and I don't want to be up here like a broken record, but on top of educating our children about the law, I also think that they need more resources here, too. Unfortunately, because of funding and us being a rural county, what I find, even in private practice representing some of my clients, is there's not a lot of help for those mid-range juvenile about to be adult offenders, where they could have a second chance, where they could have help, where it's truly just a drug addiction, or if it's just they've been led down a wrong path, or they didn't have a really good mentor. But you don't have those resources here. You have them in Gainesville, you have them in Jacksonville, you have them in Tampa, you have them all other places, and that's something that's near and dear to my heart that I've been preaching about since day one of my campaign, is that I would like to be a part of that change. I want to serve on committees, if I'm appointed to the bench, that pushes for that funding. I want to work with Chuck Brannon, local legislators, local members of the House to maybe get that type of funding, because we need it here. Our numbers are growing, but our resources aren't growing. We have people moving into Hamilton County every single day. You guys, look at the numbers. People are coming from down south, up north. Our county is filling up, but what's not filling is the bank to be able to help the people that are here. And so I feel as passionate about that as I do educating our youth. And I can tell you, Ms. Paula, that won't stop for me, because I'm very passionate about it. Thank you. Is there anybody else that had some questions? All right, well, I'm going to allow the band to play another set. I hope you guys enjoyed the food. Please feel free to take a to-go plate, sweets. I have lots of campaign stuff up there, too. Please take a sign for yourself or a family member. I really appreciate the support, no matter what it is. Speaking to a friend, speaking to a family member, wearing my shirt, everything. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.